Hello. Hello, everyone. Okay, welcome to part 4 of the EnGenius Cloud webinar, how to manage cloud managed switch. All right, this topic, this time around, we will be actually going on to our cloud switch. So these are some of the stuff that we actually be going on to. All right, basically our cloud managed switch allows you to be manageable by on-premises device as well as through the cloud. As you can see based on the diagram, you can actually use the Sky key to manage the cloud switch as well. Right, it is a hybrid, so you don't have to worry whether to select which kind of modes that you want to use to manage the switch. Right, the important thing is that with the cloud switch being used in our cloud system or the hybrid system, you actually have the benefit of having this topology view, which will constructively give advice on how the cloud switch is being connected to one another, as well as to the APs that is actually being connected to it. All right, they will actually have port indications to the respective switch that is interlinked. Okay, so the EnGenius Cloud Switch basically have certain L3 functions, which is multiple IP interface, ARP table, and then also IP enable, V6 enable discovery. So on this table wise, it's actually showing what additional features that the EnGenius Cloud Switch does cater to. All right, this is our Cloud Switch lineup. Basically, we have the 8-port ECS1008P and the ECS1112FP, which is the 10-port, and the ECS1528, which is a 24-port with 10G SFP, and also the 1552FP, which is a 48-port with a D10G SFP port as well. And here we have is the multi-gigabit switches series, which is the ECS2512, that is a non-PoE, and ECS2512FP, that is PoE, ECS5512, which is the 8-port 10G, that is non-PoE, and the ECS5512FP, which is the PoE switches. All right, over this screen, what we have did a test is basically the aggregated speed of an AX AP that we have. That is the EWS 377 AP, going through the 1 gigabit switch, which is the EWS 5912, and it did manage to obtain a speed of 941 Mbps upstream, which is TX, and then RX, which is download, which gives a 937.61 Mbps speed. But when it was tested with the ECS2512, which is a 2.5 gigabit switch, it managed to obtain a speed of 2.294 Gbps for TX, and RX is 2.334 Gbps. So you can see that when you're running on an AX, such as the EWS 377 AP, it's a 4x4 AX, which gives the optimal speed for the wireless using a multi-G switches such as the ECS2512. Okay, now I'll go over to how do you actually use the cloud to manage the ECS switch. I'll share the screen over to the next one. I'll briefly stop for a moment. Okay, basically I've actually logged into my cloud account already. So we have one live switch that is in our office that we have actually already installed. So what you can see is that when we have actually installed, this is the switch that we have actually been used in our office for quite a while already. So you can actually do a mouse over and it gives you a detail when you actually click on the details of it. and that will actually gives you some beneficial readings such as the CPU usage and memory usage. And you can see which port is actually the speed, and as well as what is being connected, whether is it using PoE or non-PoE. And as you scroll down, you will be able to see what's the utilization. So there's actually certain reports that is important for the end user to actually to understand what is the status of the switch. So you can even change the IP address and set your VLAN as well. And you can also add the photograph of your switch that is actually on the premises. Okay, about that, you can see that right now I'm actually clicking onto the topology view. So you can actually see how the link is between the cloud switch to the cloud access point, and how many clients, when you mouse over, it will actually give you the details of the access point as well. So this is one of the good tools which a lot of people would prefer to see, because you can actually use the switch to identify your network. So bear this in mind, this is strictly proprietary, so you can only use EnGenius Cloud Switch to view the topology view. All right, next, I'll go over to the switch settings. Okay, the switch settings, basically what we have right now is the spanning tree protocol, LLDP. So these are basically a turn off and turn on function. Okay, and same goes to the LLDP is an off and on function. So if you have make any changes, you might need to click the apply button on the right hand top corner. All right, you can also do your voice VLAN as well. So it's just one of these enable and disable. But do take note that if you do find that some of the OUI addresses is not listed, you can actually add your own OUI addresses as well. And then of course the QoS, which is enable and disable, and it comes with 802, the different types of trust mode that you can actually select. And then of course IGMP snooping and jumbo frames. Okay, now I'll do a demonstration how you actually connect the switch to the cloud. So I've actually did something over here. Okay, I will add a new switch into my network. Okay, let me go to the device inventory and I'll register a device. All right, what you need to do is basically to input the serial number of the device. And click on register. Right, once it is done, it's basically in the device inventory. So you might need to assign it to the network. So I've actually assigned a test. And once it's assigned, you can actually go to your switch and you actually list the switch in your network already. So by doing this, you've actually created the switch to be added into your project. Okay, let's go to the dashboard and you can see the switch is already online. Switch is offline. Okay. All right, so now it's coming up already. Okay, so as you can see, by managing the cloud switch over the cloud is just a simple step. Go to your inventory, add into the project, and you will actually assign the switch to the particular project. And then you can actually manage the switch from then on. Okay, is there any question from your side, from you guys? We are now open for discussions. You guys can actually type in the chat group for the questions if you have any. All right, if there's no questions, I'll pass the host over to Nancy. Okay, I actually see one question from someone, Pranik. These are the only switch can be connected to the cloud? Yes, currently ECS is the only model that is available for the cloud system. Any other questions? So for those that you are using the current model, which is the EWS, those models will not be able to be managed by the cloud. So do take note, ECS basically meant for EnGenius cloud switches. So these are the only one that is manageable by our clouds. Do we need any login ID for cloud access? Yes, you will need to actually create your own account in the cloud. Then from then on, you will be able to actually set up your own projects and network to assign the switches or the access point in the cloud. So as a SI, you can actually create multiple projects, which means that the projects could be different customer, and then you will actually assign the equipments to the respective end user. Any other questions? Is there any limit of number of switches connected to a project? Okay, if you have huge project, basically the cloud will be able to accommodate limitless to one single project. All right, we are talking about not just the switches, we are also talking a mixture of switches and access point. Are there any more questions? If there are no more questions, I'll pass the mic over to Nancy, and she will actually give you some ideas of our cloud system.
So hello everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Nancy, the product manager from EnGenius. Thank you for logging into our webinar. Okay, I hope if you have any more further questions, you can drop an email to us on the cloud switch. Now our cloud switch is already available, so you can actually ask for a quote from our respective authorized distributors in your region. Let me show you what is the range we have. Now currently we do have the current 8-port entry level cloud switch, and then we also have the 8-port full power cloud switch, and the 24-port at full power and 48-port full power switch, and it all comes with 10G uplink. And we also have the 10G SFP available. So if you wanted to bundle the 10G FSP with our ECS switches, please also ask a quote from our respective distributor. Now next is the multi-G switches. Our multi-G switches will be available in March 2020. So we will have the 2.5G multi-G switches. So it works really well with our 11AX 4x4. As you can see from the test result we have, without the bottleneck issue on the wired side, you can optimize the 11AX performance. You can see you are almost getting a 2 gig kind of speed from the wireless side. Okay, so this test has been carried out recently, and this is proven with our 2.5G multi-G switches. Okay, now moving on. For the subsequent webinars, we actually will post it into our website. So you will have to log into our partner login. And then you can see from the screen that this is the web portal for partner login, where you can register the webinar. Today's webinar will also be archived under the archive webinar, where you can refer back to the previous webinars if you have missed the webinar. So the previous webinar we have done is already archived onto this partner portal, so you can actually go up and take a look. And also the good thing about having registered a partner portal, you could also log on to cloud immediately with the partner portal account. So you can actually log into the cloud in our website and then use ePartner to use your current partner account to log into the cloud. As you can see, this is as easy as just a click of button, and immediately you are into your cloud portal, right? So I hope if those people who attended this webinar who has not registered onto our webinar, please go on to register now so that we will put you into the lucky draw list, right? So you'll be inside the lucky draw list. So I hope you could sign up after this webinar before we close the registration by end of the day. So if there's no more question, we'll end this webinar. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll see you in the next webinar. Okay, bye-bye.